yourself and your journey adventure.
I'm Lea. I'm from Munich in Germany. I'm a German journalist, and right now I'm going around the world with my bike. It's a Triumph 800 XCA, and we have been on the road for 5 months now, and going to Australia from Malaysia soon.
How many countries have you passed from Germany?
I have not an exact clue, but I think should be like 23 now. Because there are lots of countries, when you start in Europe, there are like lots of countries that in a day you cross basically 3 countries because they are all so small. And in the end I spent more time in the countries because they are much bigger. But I think it should be like 23, 25.
What motivated you to ride solo around the world? Why not with your partner?
I've always enjoyed traveling solo, and I've always enjoyed traveling alone, because if you travel alone, you're much likely to get to know people, you're much more open for the cultures. If you're traveling together, you're kind of like your own island, and if you're traveling alone, you have to talk to people because you're alone, and you have to get to know people, and you don't want to be alone always. So, and I really enjoyed this part of being alone, and I think it's as well much more a challenge to be alone. And it makes you grow a lot. And that's why I decided to go alone. And I'm really happy because some of my friends will come and already came to visit me in some parts of this trip. And that's of course very nice to see people that you like and love and have them with you for a few weeks. But I'm still very happy that I'm doing this on my own, because it's just a very different experience. I would do it with someone together too if I found the right person to go on that trip like this. But I'm really happy to have as well this experience to do it alone.
I see. So what's your best moment of your journey so far? And the worst?
Actually the best, if it comes to landscapes, it was Pamir Highway in Tajikistan, because it's just a very beautiful mountain range. It's lots of gravel roads, it's fantastic to drive. It's just very remote. You only sleep at homestays, you will not have a hot shower for weeks. It was 1.5 weeks I've been there, but there's basically no showers, no Wi-Fi, nothing. It's just a very basic life, but it's beautiful. Second most beautiful place was Pakistan. There's a place called Karakoram Highway, which is breathtaking, and Pakistani people are so friendly. It's mostly, I think, the best moments of this trip are always the people, because traveling is so much about the people you meet, and I don't know if I was lucky or if it's just that most of the people are good, because I had so many good experiences and I didn't have barely bad experiences with the people I met.
So no bad experience and bad encounters so far?
Actually, the worst experience was my own fault, because pretty much in the beginning of my trip I was in Russia, and I still had street tires on my bike, because I thought I would basically drive asphalt roads until Tajikistan, and then I wanted to change to the more off-road tires. And in Russia I got on a kind of very sandy off-road track, because my navigation just taught me the wrong way. And I got on the sand track and I was just lost on the bike, because this bike is heavy, and if you have the wrong tires, you can do nothing. And I fell with about 60 kilometers per hour, dropped my head, and
You fell?
Yeah, I fell and I hit my head.
Were there any vehicles behind you? Or?
No, not directly behind me. I was lying there for maybe, I don't know exactly, because I really hit my head. I was kind of in a trance, and I was just lying. I couldn't even stand up and look at my bike. And then I think maybe 20 minutes or half an hour later there was a car coming by, and then I kind of woke up and I was like, oh shit, I have to wake up and I have to get my bike up. And then I stopped this vehicle and asked them to help me pick the bike up, and they did, and the whole handlebar was really bent. It was really like upside down. So I started to drive on the sandy track with this handlebar like this, and the windshield was broken. And I think it was another 10 kilometers on this track, and I just tried to drive somehow. And when I hit the asphalt, I cried, because I was so happy to have asphalt under the wheels again. And I actually made it to the town I wanted to go to, but I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days, because I think I had maybe a concussion or something.
Oh, really?
But I didn't never think about stopping, but I just it took some time to recover again.
You've ridden from Germany to Malaysia. Has it changed you somehow? You know, the overlook of teens and people around you.
Actually, that is a very difficult question because I was not doing this trip to find myself or to find another perspective of life, because I'm not that kind of person. But I think the thing I did is I learned a lot. You know, you learn so much about cultures, you see all the people living, you experience how friendly people are even if they're poor and have nothing. And it's really fantastic to have all those experiences, and I hope I can share many of them, because it's an important thing that people get a bit more tolerant and see that we are all humans.
Yes. So your whole journey, do you keep a diary? Maybe an online diary?
I have a website, but at this point my website is kind of not really updated up to date. So where I really keep track of all my journey is Instagram. Yeah, I'm very good at this, and my Facebook page and my website will come as well, but I always put longer stories on my website, so it takes a bit time for me to write them. And it's not like if you want to follow the journey like day by day, Facebook and Instagram are more likely that you get a better expression. If you want to read a bit more deeply, you can go to my website. It's www.got2go.
Facebook and Instagram, Lea Rieck, right?
Yes, exactly.
Lea Rieck, Facebook and Instagram, guys. Follow her. So, which was the most beautiful country which was the most beautiful country?
I think,
as for now.
Yeah, Tajikistan and Pakistan for the riding were the most beautiful. And I as well really enjoyed Southeast Asia so far. I enjoyed Myanmar. It was very interesting for me to see because I've never been there before, and it did just open kind of recently to tourists, and it has lots of temples and lots of pagodas, culture. It's just an interesting country to travel to. Thailand is very nice biking, and Malaysia, what I've seen so far, was really nice too. So I really enjoyed this whole Southeast Asian part of the trip as well.
How long were you in Myanmar?
I have been to Myanmar 15 days.
Alright, the most challenging country?
The most challenging country is, in my opinion, India, because the traffic is just crazy. There's the trucks, they're overtaking on every side, the streets are not in good conditions. It's just a very challenging country to ride. But in the end, I kind of liked it, because in the beginning I've been to India before and I was so scared of driving in these conditions on those roads. And in the end, I've kind of, you learn how to flow with the traffic, and I think it even makes you a bit a better rider if you at one point learn how to go with this kind of traffic.
Maybe adapt yourself to
Yeah.
that kind of environment.
And actually people were really friendly, so I had this it's so busy experience when driving, and then you arrive somewhere and people are friendly and you immediately feel at home. So that was kind of like India had really like its up and downs, but that was probably why it was the most challenging. It was not only good or not only bad, it had like everything.
I see. So okay, that's all for now. I just have one last question. For a girl whose dream is to travel the world, what would your top advice be?
My top advice would be save money and do it if you really want to do it, because it's actually if you want to do it, there is no better time than now. Because if you're waiting for your world trip to do it, you will get older, you fall in love, and you get married, you have children, and it does not get easier. So I would encourage every female rider or every rider that has this dream to try to make it become true.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lea Rieck from Germany.
Thank you so much for having me.